Lots of new albums that are tens. I just listened to a new JPEGMAFIA album that's a 10. It's very good. JPEGMAFIA is a rapper. He's a good rapper. I've enjoyed some of his albums. Um, what I did not realize until I listened to this album is he is a genius at specifically making rap beats, and he makes them in a way that it's like a world that you inhabit that's shifting constantly. Every other producer that I know of that makes rap, I guess there's a few possible exceptions with experimental, like you could argue Death Grips, but he's the only producer I know who deconstructs beat making to the point where it changes every couple measures. So it's never just a beat. I always find it boring to listen to rap because they just play a beat over and over again. So you hear the same thing and it doesn't go through a different transition and go into different parts. It just becomes whatever, a repetitive kind of beat like trap music or some grime music or whatever. It's just like these dark. Anyway, the way JPEG Mafia makes beats makes no fucking sense. I think he's either like autistic or like a genius because he doesn't do the rules of making beats. He just does. Anyway, the first song Trust is very good. I love the lyrics. I'm doing good. I got a suit. Like fucking that just rolls. But the beat starts with like an addictive little like synth line and it develops over the song. And then it starts going this weird xylophone shit, and the xylophone stuff takes over. It's like xylophone fighting with the synth beat, and then xylophone feels like it wins, but then it just disappears and it strips down, and it's just like bass noises. And he's still rapping. This is all a verse. He's doing that, and then it goes into Dirty, which is another like banger, fucking just like rap song, and it has like a trebly synth line and this clunky drum noise, and Peggy goes off, and it's pretty sweet. But it's Nemo. It starts with like this moogie synth line, and then occasionally there's like bursts of drums, and it'll switch over to the verse as the beat switches. Uh, I don't think that made sense. I should smoke less weed. End credits is like a 70s corny prog rock. It makes no sense. The fact that this is on the record is why it's a 10, probably. Um, it sounds literally like a Rush song or something, like a bad 80s. But it's on a rap album. There's other things on this. There's a piano, like a beautiful, tasteful, like piano solo on this album, and like an improvised sing along, like first take of a guy teaching a new song to somebody who's never heard it before. It's not a usual rap album. Um, but yeah, end credits. It sounds fucking weird. It sounds stupid. I'm sorry. I love that he's exploring, but it's garbage. But what kind of rapping is this? Is fucking really good. It's almost like a mission statement of the record because it's like I don't know the way it falls apart. It has like a sweet rattly snare, and then there's this jangly, like stumbling bell, synth clatter, jittery thing. It falls apart and turns into this like singing auto tune R&B thing. He has like women singing, and then he has like groups of guys singing at once. And you can't really understand what they're talking about. So thoughts, prayers. There's a lot of like that singing, and you almost feel like it's just like an R&B song. And then it's a funky like mid-tempo thing with like Oriental kind of like I don't know how to describe these noises. He makes a lot of weird noises that go different places in the background of him rapping. And then the bass comes in, and the drums come back in, and he starts singing "Ooh Baby," and then it's reduced to just the drums, and then yeah, it's a very good rap song. "Are You Happy" is good. It starts with like a spoken word philosophy thing. and then a like barely add or like there's like a rap group. It's either I don't know if he rapped and then recorded himself and then used that, or if he has recordings of other people rapping or chanting, or I can't really understand what they're saying. But they start going off, and then he makes a chorus out of them being like the beat. He turns their vocals into like a melody noise to make a beat with. So he starts rapping like, and then starts punctuating it with beeps. They sound like a heart monitor at a hospital, like that beep beep beep. It starts doing that a bunch, and then the beeps get like more frequent and start to like feel like they're interrupting things and making things darker. And fucking this like it's just like electronic percussion synth line, and then it fades out and there's like a cappella singers, and it turns into like this dark simple version of like early 90s hip hop. And Damn 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 is literally like a long piano solo, most of it. And he like talks for a while and like starts to like tell you about how you should do stuff over his like piano. And then he goes to like a nice just like classic sounding beat with like 70s synths and goes off. And then he starts as a like percussion heavy synth bass, and then it's literally minutes of him talking to a girl and teaching her a song live, and she's just like they're coming up with it in the moment. And then there's kissy face emoji, which is telephone noises. Like the beeps are now telephones. And then the heavy, dark synth bass comes back in, and then Peggy says some shit. He goes off, and then it sounds like a smooth R&B, like Boyz II Men song for a second, and then it becomes like a fast, simple like beat, and then this other new weird bass line comes in, and it's a different melody, but that's just a rap with the old beat, and then he brings in the noises, either the beep or the computer. I think of as video game noises. I don't know like what he's using to make that sound. But he goes back to the beat, and then he puts on like a hook. Like he starts doing auto tune, making a pop beat. In the middle of the kissy face emoji, there's like a hook. It sounds like it should be a chorus, but instead of being sung multiple times, it's just like a part of a thing, and then it moves on to another thing. His sense of making things reminds me of this album. Reminds me of Astral Weeks by Van Morrison. He kind of deconstructs these elements and then rearranges them to make a very unique kind of untethered thing. I mean, obviously, like having like a jazzy folk band that's like improvising is different than like doing the shit he does on synth. But it's harder to describe what a genius is on just like programming synth beats. But he is one, and this album is fucking really good to listen to. The full version of it is on YouTube. Stop listening to me because I'm not annoying, first of all, and second of all, you can just listen to it because it's on YouTube. He put the full version on YouTube. I had to listen to the iTunes version, but I did stream the full tunes version, the illegal, the offline. But yeah, nice. Nice is like men yelling loudly, like that sample again, but different. I think it's different men yelling about something different. And then a snaky beat comes in while some like harps play. There's no beat. There's no rap in nice, unless men yelling in a background as a melody counts as rap. BMT is like a rustling. It's either like a dog or a rattling engine, and then some like chopped up vocals come in, and then there's like a sick beat from the vocals. And then he's like using it's like wet ass pussy the song is not like Wet Ass Pussy, but he's using that like whores in this house, got some whores in this house. He's doing like a version of that, but better. I forget what he sings. The lyrics are good, but they're difficult to remember. I've only listened to this album once. Um, but yeah, he's a good rapper. I like him as a rapper. That's the other reason this is a good album. But his beat making, I think, is what makes it like a next level album. The Ghost of Ranking Death sounds like a catchy kind of romantic ballad, but then it turns into rap and Peggy goes off. All of his songs have like different sections. Like Drake will have like one or two songs, or somebody like that will have like a song that turns into another song. But he like doesn't even have a fucking. He doesn't stay with the same song for two beats. He just like changes. If you're paying attention, he's not. He doesn't have beats. He's just like playing. Uh, he's playing a technological like algorithm, like it's a instrument. It's pretty interesting. Cutie Pie rules. Peggy just goes off. Just classic. He starts to like play with the synth melody line and sing in his verses, and then he goes into this like cool verse, and then the beat shifts. And then Bald ends the official version, which Bald is a banger. I like Bald. I like the remix with Denzel Curry. I like the songs that are on the offline version, which is the online version. Make sure you get on YouTube. You should search for it. So yeah, JPEG Mafia is talented artists. 10 numbers, 10 stars. I don't know what the 10 what, like how much. 10